Allison, it's Nicole. Sorry it took me so long to get this video ready for you, but I just really want to touch base. I really still want to see some video of just what you're doing, mainly because you mentioned you had some back, I don't know if you have an injury or what, but some back soreness going on, and really just want to make sure you were doing these movements correctly. But if you're seeing results and are feeling good about it, I'm sure you are. And then just give you a few variations to add to it. So the first one, I believe you were doing the dead bugs from that 90-second ab video. So really important, Allison, is to have that back flat on the floor. You know, we live so much like here when we're sitting at our desks. I mean, I do it. I catch myself all the time. And what we really want to do is just open ourselves up, because as adults, we forget how to move. If you notice kids, they crawl and they walk and they do everything on this contralateral movement. You won't believe how many students I have when I ask them to crawl, they can't do opposite hand, opposite leg. But guess what? That's how we walk every day. Anyway, so really want to open you up, push that back in the floor. We do a lot of diaphragmatic breathing. I don't know if you heard me in that video. I inhale through my nose and I exhale. So what I'm doing is I'm really tightening up my core here and keeping my back straight. So what that does is it retains the tension in your abs and it protects the lower back as well. And it really just kind of tightens you up. We have this thing in our garage called, or saying, if you want to look tight, you got to act tight. So diaphragmatic breathing is not a suck your stomach in. It is almost as if somebody was going to go punch you and brace you. So if you were to try this, inhale through your nose, just sniff, and then push down here from the diaphragm. You can feel the tension and how tight, and that's that diaphragmatic breathing we're looking for. So really quickly on that dead bug, when you're down here, you always want to start, like go into that position. If you're coming in from the floor, from a fetal position, just always make sure you bring those legs up in a bent position. And then you want to have your head, everything on the floor, your back is flat. Notice I am not arched. That's what we don't want. We want to have that, create that tension and put the back in the floor. So now I'm already tight. So when my feet go up, I'm right here, I'm safe. My feet aren't too far so that my butt is off the floor. I'm just good enough. If you're, only getting here at some point, that's fine. Go down as far as you can to where you do not arch your back. That's the bad part of it. So the breathing technique here is you inhale, and it's opposite hand, opposite leg. So you're inhaling, and you're tight, and you're going to start exhaling here. Creating that tension. Inhale, opposite hand, opposite leg. Going back. You don't want to have bent knees, but if you can't get there yet, eventually you will. You're here. Inhale, opposite hand, opposite leg. You're tight. Keep that back in the floor. You want to have full extension with the arm and the leg. No need to go. It's kind of, it defeats the purpose of the movement. Really nice and slow with that breathing. So again, the inhaling through the nose is really important. Another variation of this is what we call the active straight leg raise. You lay here with your palms up, both of them kind of like at a 45-degree angle. Again, your legs are up, your shoulders, everything is on the floor, back is on the floor. You're going to inhale, you're going to go down one leg at a time. Inhale, back flat, down, slow. Down and up. Inhale and up. Sweet. So that's the dead bug. The other portion of that was the active straight leg raise. You can always do same side arm, same side leg if you wanted to. That's always really great. The other one I would tell you about, I think you were doing the knee to elbows. So knee to elbows, love this one. A lot of of my students hate it when I do this because I usually incorporate those mountain climbers or the dead bugs and the knee to elbows in a 20-10 format. It's called Tabata. And a Tabata is really only 8 rounds of 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. So basically that 20 seconds of work, you're working, and then the 10 seconds is a transition period. So you might want to try that. It's 4 minutes of work, or 4 minutes total, and it's quick, it's super fast. If you only got a few minutes, you can throw that in there versus doing the 90 seconds. So again, with the knee to elbows, you want to start, either from the side or just when you come up, make sure your knees are bent when you're coming down. And all the same things apply, Allison. You gotta have that back flat on the floor. You want to protect it. You never want to be arched. And the breathing is always very, very important. It'll be so much more effective, and you'll really, really feel it as far as creating the tension and keeping the lower back or your back on the general safe. So with the knee to elbow, very important. We see a lot of folks here. So I'm disconnected. The knee to elbow, what makes this workout so effective is staying connected here, keeping the back in the floor. See a lot of this, and maybe your mobility isn't there yet, but it will be. But you want to try to keep that back into the floor and your head down to keep a neutral spine. So from here, I want to create pressure from my knee to my elbow, or my knee to my elbow, I should say. And I want to keep it there. So this is what makes it work. From right here, this is really going to activate your obliques and your core right here. So again, it's just, this part is same side leg, same side arm versus the contralateral that we did earlier. So we're here, you're going to inhale, use that breath. Exhale, or extend, full extension as far as you can. You don't want the hands and feet to touch the floor, but slightly off the floor. Notice my back is still in the ground. And I'm going to come into the other side. Inhale. Now, I'm not disconnected. You want to keep them together, okay? Inhale. This really, really tightens up the abs, and you can feel it working. And I know you said you felt it. But again, key here is keeping the elbow to the knee each time you're letting go from the other side. The other variation of this is just doing same side only the entire time versus alternating. So let me do this side for you so you can see. So you're down. So like that, you can work that for about 20 seconds each side, and get an effective workout that way on the abs. I'd love to know a little bit more of your history on your back, on how we can strengthen your back up a little bit, or what your limitations are, to see if we can kind of help you rehab some of that. A lot of it is having a strong core and knowing how to move. Again, go into that movement talk, because that's so much of what we lose as adults, is how to move properly. And the simple act of squeezing your butt, finishing your hips, Allison, is the easiest way to protect your lower back, if you will, especially when we're standing around and we're lifting those grocery bags, our purses, our kids, anything like that. It's just knowing how to move effectively. And I know you said you were doing some squats. Hopefully you can see me here. With the squats, we see a lot of people who don't know how to squat anymore, who have forgotten how. This is a hinge for us, and then pulling down.